What is up, everybody from YouTube today? It is your boy Connor from 72.Degrezz. I hope everybody is going to be having a safe 3-day weekend, as it is MLK weekend this week. I am very excited to be back on my channel here for another Fluffal video. This one happens to be a continuation from my first video on my channel. If you want to go ahead and please go look at my last video. It's on my channel. I'll try to leave the link in the description down below. But it has not been changed from that deck profile, so you guys want to go look at that just to understand what the cards do real quick. That would probably be a good idea. Anyway, today what I'm going to be doing with the deck is I'm going to be showing basic combos for the deck. I currently have 4 of them. And I'm also going to be doing a second churn OTK hand, just to show you what a OTK hand for a Fluffal deck could look like. Alright, so to start off, we're going to go into the True King of All Calamities play. This deck gets into True King of All Calamities really easily. It doesn't really matter what cards you have in your hand. All you need is a Fluffal monster and a Fluffal Patchwork. So this is how you do it. So you're going to activate Fluffal Patchwork to begin, which is going to add a Poly and a Edgem Sabers from deck to hand. Edgem Chain from deck to hand. So once you add that, you're going to go ahead and fusion summon both Edgem Chain and Fluffal Sheep. And once you've done that, you're going to make the first Fluffal Cruel Whale. Off the effect of Chain from the graveyard, you are going to add a Fluffal card from deck to hand. You're going to add Fluffal Fusion. Next, you're going to activate Fluffal Fusion, fusioning summon monsters from the field or graveyard by banishing them. So you banish the same monsters you just used using Sheep and Chain. This is going turn 1, by the way, if you can assume. You could also set this up turn 2 if you can't get through to your opponent. It's also a good idea because True King is just a really good card. Really easy to set up 2 level 9 monsters. You got 2 Cruel Whales on the field, and then it's just easy from here. Just go right into True King of All Calamities. So that's the first play right there. If you guys need to see that again, all you need is a Fluffal monster and a Palmer and a Fluffal Patchwork in hand in order to get this combo off. Really easy. It's one of the reasons I really like this deck, because True King definitely should be banned soon. I definitely believe it will be. So with this deck being able to set it up that easily, it really sets up a lot of interruption for some decks. Combo number 2. This one is going to be your basic toy vendor play. So on this, you're going to have Bear in hand and a Fluffal Wings. So if you guys don't understand how the combo works for toy vendor, this is how it works. So to start off, you're going to send Fluffal Bear to the graveyard. Add a toy vendor. You have to set it to your field. That's a very important part, because your opponent could destroy it from this point or use the Cosmic Cyclone, whatever. A toy vendor. Discard a card from hand. Add a card. If it's a Fluffal monster, you could special summon it, or special summon a monster from your hand. If not, you have to discard it. So I had to discard the Fluffal Fusion. Not to worry. So off the effect of Wings, I get to banish itself and another Fluffal monster from my graveyard. Draw a card. Send toy vendor to the grave. Draw a card. And then off of the effect of toy vendor, not only does it have not only can you draw a card from deck when you discard one from hand, when it hits the graveyard, you can also add a Fluffal or an Edgem Sabers from deck to hand. In this case, I'll go ahead and add Fluffal Dolphin. Especially with having 2 wings in hand, probably a good idea. You can't activate wings twice in a turn, but having it in grave anyway is not the worst thing. So you can summon Dolphin in this case, resetting the toy vendor, and then you can just go right back into the play, if that makes any sense. So there you go. Really easily done. So far, that's what we got. All right. let's see what this next one is. This next one is getting into Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome. So if you're going turn 1 and you know your opponent's playing Nibiru, this is a great option to do. There's actually multiple ways to get around Nibiru with your extra deck, which is very, very helpful, because I think Nibiru, especially with the slower type of format or meta we're in right now, I think it's a really, really good hand trap. By the way, if you happen to have a OTS 14 Ultimate Rare, not Utopia, Nibiru, please hit me up. I would love to buy that from you. Anyway, going into Bahamut Shark, it's really simple. Fluffal Penguin. Off the effect of Penguin, when you normal summon, you can special summon a Fluffal monster from hand. You're going to special summon Fluffal Dolphin. Overlay into Bahamut Shark. And then you're going to detach a material, such as the Dolphin, so that you can go into Totally Awesome. And that's how the churn goes right there. Really easy to get around Nibiru. Like I said, there's also multiple ways to get around Nibiru in this deck, but this is probably the most simplest way to do it. And plus, Totally Awesome, of course, is a really good card. So having it on field is overall a pretty good board if you're trying to get around Nibiru. So that's the third combo we have, and then the fourth combo I have for you guys today is another 2 monster summon, but it doesn't matter what 2 monsters you have. It can be Fluffal Penguin and Fluffal Dog. For this instance, I'm actually going to trade out the Fluffal Penguin and use, if I can find it, there it is, Sheep, because I'll show you what Sheep can do. So Fluffal Dog, summon, activate effect. Again, you're going to add a Fluffal monster or Edge of Sabrus from deck to hand. I'll just find Sabrus and add it, just for the sake of showing the effect. Then Fluffal Sheep has the effect where you can special summon it to the field if you control a Fluffal monster. Special summon Sheep. Sheep also has the effect where you can trade out a Fluffal monster on field in order to special summon an Edge monster from your hand or graveyard. So you special summon the Edge Sabrus. Doesn't really matter how you do it. Then from here, you're gonna go. You could actually take this 2 ways. If you're going turn 1, I say go into Cross Sheep so that you can eventually get into Appaloosa. But for the sake of this, I'm going to be showing a turn 2 play. So if I was going second, I would definitely go Pride of Plant, Verde, Anaconda. From here, you can actually make multiple plays with Plant of Verde, Anaconda. So if you guys don't read, Frifer Wolf has the effect that it can attack for the amount of monsters used for a fusion summon. So you can activate Frifer Fusion in this case in order to banish a lot of Fluffal monsters from your graveyard. In order to have Frifer Wolf attack like 4 or 5 times. Plus, if you have other Frifer monsters on the field, they typically have effects that will gain attack points for other Frifer monsters like Tiger and and Frifer Sabretooth. Both of those have attack advantages to other Frifer monsters on the field. So this card could feasibly have I've seen it have 3,600 attack and been able to attack 6 or 7 times. So it's a really ridiculous card. If you're playing against Zodiac, which I have been doing a lot lately because of my brother, I would definitely say pay the 2,000 life points immediately. With Predator Plant Verde Anaconda, so that I could send Red Eyes Fusion and then send. I mean, you guys can pretty much guess what I'm going to do from here in order to go into Dragoon. It's so funny how Dragoon at the start of when it was released from the Mega Teen. I mean, people have their own opinion about it, but it wasn't really played coming out of the Mega Teen, and then slowly the TCG got to the point where they were playing it.
Outlook's best deck, let's go. No, I'm kidding. Fluffal, tier 0.
Anyway, going on. Sorry, that was my brother coming in. Now I've shown you guys 4 basic combos. We have the True King combo, the Toy Vendor combo, getting into Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome, and also going into Predator Verde Anaconda / Cross Sheep, which leads into Pfeiffer Wolf or Dread Eyes Dark Dragoon. I'm going to show you guys a turn 2 hand with this deck real quick. I just think it would be really interesting. I'm happy. I'm hoping you guys are staying tuned in for this video. This is for my first time I'm doing something like this, and I think it's really interactive. There's a lot of hate on Fluffals right now. Because a lot more people would be running virtual worlds and stuff like that. I'm going to be honest. I actually think that Fluffals would fare well against virtual worlds because virtual worlds have a problem when they face a lot of power. I think they would be way better against a deck like Zodiac or Eldritch or something or Zodiac Eldritch as well. But a deck that tries to OTK out of the bat for virtual worlds, I think they have a lot of trouble, especially like if I'm running Harpy's Feather Duster, if I side that in, then it's going to be really hard for a virtual world deck to try and use its traps or spells against me in order to negate my abilities. So here we go. We're going to do a turn 2 hand, and this will be the last thing I do. We got Fluffal Sheep, Edgem Sabrus, Fluffal Penguin, Fluffal Cat, Edgem Scythe, and for our 6th draw, it is the Fluffal Dolphin. So, we actually have some problems with this hand, I'm going to be honest. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do something. If you're going second, the nice thing is that this is the card I just added, right? Okay, so Edgem Scythe has the ability that you can fusion summon during your opponent's turn. So what I would actually do in this case is use Edgem Scythe to go into Fryfear Cruel Whale during your opponent's turn. And this is some of my extra deck cards are over here. Sorry about that. This is why I would do that, because Fryfear Cruel Whale has an effect where when it's fusion summoned, you can destroy a card in your opponent's field and your field. So you can target the Cruel Whale, target another card to destroy it. However, by using Scythe, you get bandaged itself from the graveyard in order to negate the effect for Cruel Whale itself, so it won't be destroyed. And then you're going to be left with a monster while your opponent's still during the turn, and they're going to be wondering what hit them. The other thing is, when Fluffal Penguin hits the graveyard, I get to draw 2 cards and also discard 1. So that really helps my case now. In this case, probably a good idea to send Edgem Sabrus to the graveyard, because you can special summon it from the graveyard. And then your opponent goes on with the turn, can't really do much, whatever, right? Let's just say this gets destroyed, right? Whatever. Now you're starting your turn. Now you have this in hand. You have a Fluffal monster, an Edgem Sabrus in your grave, right? What I would do to begin is actually activate Fryfear Fusion and use Sabrus and Penguin in order to make, in this case, Kraken, because Kraken can pop a opponent's monster on field, which makes it very valuable. Now you're left with this. What I would do from here is special summon Fluffal Dolphin, or summon Fluffal Dolphin, and then special summon Fluffal Sheep. Off of Sheep and Dolphin, go into the Dragoon play, because off of this, it's really hard to find a board, especially when you don't have, as you see, sometimes you'll break and won't see a Poly in hand or a Fryfear Patchwork, so that could make things a little bit difficult. But being able to work around it a little bit does help. One big thing that I want people to remember is never use Predator Verde Anaconda to go into Sabertooth, because if you use Predator Verde Anaconda to go into Sabertooth, then then you won't be able to get the special summon from Sabertooth to bring back the Fryfear monster from the grave. Because once the effect for Predator Verde Anaconda is used, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. So make sure you just keep that in mind. Activate Predator Verde Anaconda. I don't know why that's... Oh, my God. I might lose followers for the way I have my deck right now. Jesus Christ. Sending Red Eyes B and Dark Magician. Oh, my God. Oh my god, I got to fix that. Please don't unsubscribe for me for that. All right, and then you just go into the Dragoon. Honestly, from here, you probably still have a good chance to win the game based off what you have. Because even if you don't OTK from this, I don't see how your opponent really beats a board with Dragoon. Especially with the meta right now. So even if you don't get the turn 2 kill, you're still left with a board with Red Eyes Dart Dragoon and Pfeiffer Kraken. So, even when your hand does break, you're still able to create boards that are pretty sufficient to beat your opponent. Which it's another thing I really like about the Fluffal deck because it's really flexible. You can use it in a lot of ways. I like the way it's done. And honestly, I just think in the future, it has a really bright future heading into the tournaments.